Hi, I'm Bethany Wallace with Bethany Wallace Communications and Consulting. When you're working with someone you don't like, one of the best things that you can do is disengage or remove all the wiring from your buttons. So what I mean, or what I'm referencing, is you know how all of us say, oh, you're pushing my buttons. That happens sometimes, but the only way that someone can push our buttons is if they're, all wired and hot and ready to be pushed. When I learned this lesson about, undoing the wiring that connected to keep those buttons all hot, when I worked with emotionally disturbed teenagers at a treatment facility. And one of the best pieces of advice that my supervisor, Don Ray, gave me, and Don passed away. But one of the best pieces of advice that Don gave me was, now either hide your buttons or get rid of them, because those kids come from really tough backgrounds, and one of the first things that they're going to do is look for the easy way to get to you. They're going to look for whatever buttons they can push to get a reaction out of you, because if they can get a reaction out of you, then that's an easy way to distract you from paying attention to them and their problems. And I thought at the time I would listen to him, whatever, but I didn't really understand what he talked about until I saw those kids do that to other staff members, and it worked. And I'm kind of an observer, and so thankfully I didn't try to engage too much with the kids on the front end. I worked with a lot of guys who were huge ex-football players, and they also allowed me some time to just observe while they did all the interacting kind of work with the kids. And so during that time I was paid attention, and I figured out that I needed to get a good poker face and also remove all the wiring that went to any of my buttons, and to make sure that nothing that those kids said or did could ever set me off. That lesson stuck with me forever. I've naturally kind of always been that kind of person, but even more so now because of Don Ray and that job. And so I would pass on that information and advice to you guys, because I think that no matter what your situation is, what kind of clients, patients, students, customers you work with, and colleagues as well, there's always going to be somebody you work with you don't like, whether that's a customer or a colleague. You're always going to work with people you don't like, and there will always be somebody who's trying to push your buttons. Once they push it and get that reaction that they're looking for, which is you to react and just get ticked off or, lose your cool, act like a fool, then they're going to come back again and push that button, because it's, for someone who loves drama and conflict, that kind of reaction is what they're going for. So removing that opportunity for them will put you ahead. And removing yourself from the situation or responding in silence are two of the best things that you can do. I hope that this tip will help you, and that you'll take Don Ray's advice passed through me. If you need help with conflict prevention in the workplace or improving your communication skills, you can contact me at bethanywallaceko.com.